And I allowed them to believe I was in touch with Allie Carter, that she said she was in trouble and she needed my help. And the second that I did that, 8 different content creators instantly went to work, tearing Allie Carter apart.
Yes, there were shrines used for rituals. There's bloody places. There's parts where there's limbs. People cut off limbs and want you to have sex. There's blood. There's blood that I don't even know who it belongs to. There's a lot.
And he beat the hell out of me. He cracked my ribs.
Those are assault parties. And I was one of the kids that was one of the party favors. And a party favors means that you're set on top of a table and you're used as a...
Her name is Allie Carter, and she says she was fortunate to survive for years. She has been active online, sharing unfiltered, emotional accounts and speaking openly about what she says she experienced during her childhood. For a long time, very few people believed her. That changed when Diddy was arrested, and suddenly, parts of Allie's story began to draw more attention. She describes herself as someone who endured exploitation as a child and has been speaking publicly since 2020. Her claims are deeply troubling, so much so that many people initially struggled to even understand or accept what she was saying. Allie didn't focus on just one individual. Instead, she spoke about what she believes to be a much larger network involving powerful figures, familiar names, and places far removed from ordinary access. What stands out most is this: she had been sharing these claims years before related documents, flight logs, or legal cases became widely known. So who is Allie Carter? What exactly has she been saying, and why is...
There were shrines used for rituals. There's bloody places. There's parts where there's limbs. People cut off limbs and want you to have... There's blood. There's blood that I don't even know who it belongs to. There's a lot.
So hang on. So someone like the people that you've named are here at these shrines where there is human flesh, bones, human body parts, and they want people to participate in amongst all of this human blood. Is that a satanic ritual feces? Is this a satanic ritual that they are participating in?
Yes. Yes, there's people who want to, there's people who have animals, dead animals. I was taken, and told that I had to give a blowjob to, Biden.
So Joe Biden was there at this shrine.
Mm-hmm. Something happened. I don't know what happened. I was down there for a while. There's certain people that you don't talk about because you just don't. There were certain people that I seen down there, from Beyonce, Jay-Z. You don't tell on P. Diddy, but P. Diddy.
So you said you don't tell on these people. Is that like a code that all victims adhere to? They don't talk about this stuff?
Yes, you don't, because nobody's going to believe you. You're nothing to them. You don't count. You're just a toy. You're not essential, as they call them. You're expendable. And as a child in that situation, I wasn't the type of person that was fighting all the time, because I started to learn who I was. I started to learn my pimp. I started to learn what I was in. I started to learn that you don't fight. watch what you say, you watch what you do. And at some point I stopped fighting people, and I started to accept the fact of what I was told, that I was special enough to be with this person. I was special enough to be in the eyes of a celebrity or somebody who's on the radio or on TV. And I accepted.
Oh, who is Ally Carter? She isn't a public figure, a celebrity, or a politician. She is an ordinary woman from California who gained attention in November 2020 after sharing a series of videos on social media. In those videos, she described what she says she went through as a child, according to Ally. She experienced severe mistreatment from a very young age involving control, movement between locations, and exploitation. She claims this situation didn't begin with a random individual, but rather through institutions that were meant to protect her. Specifically, she has pointed to Child Protective Services, alleging that the Riverside County branch played a role in placing vulnerable children, including herself, into harmful situations. She says she spent months collecting information and presenting it to authorities, but her efforts were ignored and her case dismissed. Ally also claims she was taken to gatherings involving wealthy and influential individuals, where, according to her, children were treated in deeply inappropriate and harmful ways. She has stated that the adults present were aware of what was happening and chose to protect one another rather than intervene. After she began speaking publicly in 2020, Ally says her family faced serious consequences, including losing their home, their animals, and much of their stability. Despite this, she has continued to share her story, emphasizing how important she believes it is for people to hear what she has.
There's an arrest coming. There's actually 2 arrests that are already made. There's a 3rd one coming. I don't know why people are sitting on this. I'm ready. I see that some people are not. I've been ready. A lot of you are ready. Like, let's get this right? You're like, just release it. Just drop it. For whatever reason, even on the Ghislaine Maxwell case, people are holding on to names because they know it's going to destroy some of these celebrities because you guys love them. It's going to destroy a lot of these celebrities because they know they're wrong. They've been doing this for decades. They've been putting it in your face. They've been mocking their victims, and they've gotten away with it because who they keep in their back pocket and who they pay. There is a 3rd arrest that is coming. There's 2 that's already down. There's a raid that's about to go on. And on top of that, it's somebody that has something to do with an affidavit that I have already released. I am telling you, we know that it's coming. I knew it was coming when I made sure there was sworn and legal affidavits already ready 6 to 8 months ago. I'm telling you right now that they're about to grab them and they're about to announce it. When they announce it, we got a problem. We got a big problem. Because there's ways that this is about to go. I think a lot of you guys are everybody's like, we're ready. We're ready until it's happening. And then everybody's like, well, I wasn't ready. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of that. There's no other way to get ready. There's no other way to prepare. There's no protocol for what's about to happen. The world is going to crumble when they see this next arrest. In the meantime, there's going to be deaths, distractions, and fires to hide evidence. Watch for it. Ask questions, demand answers. You know who's on those flight logs. You do. You know who should be arrested. You all do. You know that laptop from hell is real. You know that the black book is real. You know Ghislaine Maxwell's customers are who everybody is watching in the everyday news, including those who you drop your kids off with every day. Your schools, your doctors, big banks, Chase Bank, Bank of America. There is a lot of people that are attached because this goes very deep. I told y'all this is a spider web that is tangled and tangled and tangled and woven intricately. I am telling you right now that once one goes, it's going to pull on a big string. That arrest is coming. 90s, we need your help.
Story becomes even more complex. Stay with it because this part is where Ally connects her experiences to something much larger. She has repeatedly claimed that she was taken to a private island, described as a place associated with extremely powerful and influential individuals. According to her account, it was a location where activities remained hidden due to the wealth and influence of those involved. Ally also describes being transported through underground passageways, mentioning roots beneath places like schools, amusement parks, and even cemeteries. It's important to note that these are her personal claims and recollections. Shared as she remembers them, she goes on to describe the island itself, how it was organized, the level of secrecy surrounding it, and how, in her view, the people connected to it operated far outside the
ever. And she was made out to be the crazy one. I was made out to be the crazy one. I was a high-risk kid. I was moved from foster homes to level 14 lockdown group homes. And every single time something happened, every single time I came in with cracked ribs, with bruises, with bites, with beyond, no one did anything. I went from shelter to shelter, from CPS report to CPS report. And CPS is your cover-up. CPS is corrupt. CPS buys and sells and trades children. That is their major facade. There are some good social workers out there, and there are some social workers that know that they cannot speak on things, they cannot do certain things, and they have to abide by certain rules, because if you don't, you will be abused too, just like there is in the Brotherhood Freemason Cops. There is a secret society in the Freemason Cops as well. We are not safe. We have been threatened, harassed, stalked, and hunted down because I mentioned that I was trafficked under the Getty Museum. I have so much evidence. I have so much information, but I don't know who to give it to, and I don't know who to honestly talk to, because there's nothing that have come of it. I don't know if Trump is going to do something, because that's the only reason why I do have something to believe in Trump, because he has given money to trafficking organizations, but 501c3s are cover-ups too. So what exactly and where exactly is this money going, and is there any really help? Because there's not. While we're out here, there has been our gate have been, our house has been broken into. I'm sorry. Our animals have been killed. We have been away from our home for a year. We can't go back without police coming out and asking us where we have been. We have been stopped and pulled over in 8 states without a ticket, without a warning, and without any logical reason. They just want to know where our car is, what time that we'll be back, where are we parked, and how long will we be out, and how much money do we have. This is not normal, and everybody knows that something is wrong.
So when you say that Trump has given money to trafficking organizations, you mean organizations that fight trafficking, right?
Human trafficking.
I just want to make sure that I understand that. He's not participating in funding human trafficking.
No, that's not what I believe, and no, that is not what I've ever heard. I believe that Trump has done something because he is the only president that has mentioned it, and Trump is the only person that I haven't seen, to be honest with you.
So firsthand, these people were in a room with you and I mean, there's no other, I want to be absolutely 100% candid. Barack Obama, yes. Joe Biden, these people raped you. And you say that you have these mountains of evidence that nobody wants to look at. What evidence do you have?
We have police reports, we have information, we have videos, we have so much. But again, there's so much that I can't put completely out there, and I have mountains.
This is the part that really draws attention. Ally had been sharing these claims years before documents, flight logs, and legal cases became public, long before conversations about powerful individuals and private islands entered mainstream discussion. She was already speaking about these topics. She wasn't responding to headlines. She was making these statements well in advance, whether or not people believe every detail. One thing often noted is her consistency. Across years of interviews, live streams, and public statements, her account has remained largely the same in situations like this. That level of consistency stands out. Now, turning to Sean Combs, also known as Diddy, a major figure in the music industry for decades. He was known for hosting high-profile events attended by celebrities and influential figures, and for a long time, he appeared untouchable. Ally had mentioned him well before his arrest in September 2024, before widely circulated footage and before multiple legal cases began to surface. She claimed to have attended some of his gatherings but emphasized that, in her view, these were not simply high-energy social events. According to her statements, she believed there was something much more troubling taking place.
You're telling me at the freak-off parties, they put children on the table instead of gift bags, and then people can do what?
Take you off the table and have, even though it's against the rules to do certain things like or full health, and that's against the rules. Like for me, that was against the rules, but that didn't matter. That did not matter.
So they come choose you off the table, do whatever they want with you, and then what happens?
And they put you back on the table.
They put you back on the table for somebody else to come choose you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's called a party favor effect. That's just one of the little things that go on at the freak-off parties with children. Were there animals there?
Mm-hmm. Goats.
Did they turn the animals loose on the kids?
Yeah.
And if you got sick and threw up because it was so disgusting, what happened?
You had to eat it.
You had to eat your vomit if you threw up. That's satanic ritual abuse. Diddy was at this party?
Mm-hmm.
Denzel Washington was at this party?
Yep.
Birdman was at this party?
Yes, he was.
And Young Jock?
Yep.
And you're telling me Denzel was there and it was after 1 o'clock when he supposedly left?
And beanie, socks, and a gold chain.
So you're telling me Denzel Washington was butt naked, he had a beanie on, socks on, and a gold chain, and that's it. In front of children.
Yep.
Funny. Because he sure portrays himself to be holier than thou.
Yep. So a lot of them do.
I think you also told me that one of those men have a birthmark.
Left thigh.
One of those men have a birthmark on their left thigh. Did you have sexual interactions with Diddy?
Yep.
Denzel? And I know we don't tell on Denzel. You might not tell on Denzel, but your mama gonna tell on everybody. I ain't keeping no pet secrets. Denzel?
Yep.
Birdman? Did Birdman promise you things?
So much. Like what he promised Lil Wayne at a young age. Because you know we shared the system together. Shared birthday together too.
I know a lot of you have seen P. Diddy get guardianship of a lot of young kids. That means he holds their contracts. I know you heard me talk about Ali's contract and how often it gets auctioned off, and the things that come from that when it's auctioned. So when you're seeing that he was a guardian for these children, he's holding their MK Ultra contracts is what that translates to. Were you the only child at this party?
No. Not at all. There's so many kids at this party.
Were there also so many celebrities?
Yep. That whole they leave at a certain time. That's not true. Everybody has to take DNA test, saliva test, blood tests, give up your phone, give up information, any trackers or locations, no weapons, no cameras.
What she referred to as a party favor dynamic, where, according to her, some individuals at these events were not actually guests. Instead, she claimed they were brought in, treated as objects, and then moved along. Ali has said that she was one of those children. What stands out is her reaction when Diddy was eventually arrested. It wasn't excitement, it was disbelief. In a recorded statement, she expressed that she never expected it to happen. After years of speaking out, naming him directly, and sharing her story publicly, she still didn't think the system would take action following her decision to go public. She says she lost her home, yet she continued to speak out regardless. That persistence reflects how strongly she feels about her message. Her claims don't stop there. Ally has also made allegations involving several high-profile figures in the entertainment world, including Jay-Z, Oprah Winfrey, Denzel Washington, and Katy Perry, among others. These statements are serious and have not been proven, but they have added to the attention and controversy surrounding.
I allowed them to believe I was in touch with Ally Carter, that she said she was in trouble and she needed my help. And the second that I did that, 8 different content creators instantly went to work, tearing Ally Carter apart. You had the Fiend team and King Twirl, old Squidward, old Mark QCO, and his crackhead squad. And then you had what is it? The two hoes, the 2 weak hoes. They were, now see, it's so funny because they were the ones that said that they were exposing her, and then everyone exposed Ally Carter before. But the thing is anybody who comes through here, anybody who comes through my channel, we need 300 more likes, folks. Double tap that screen. This is a mobile upload. All you have to do is tap. But for anybody who comes through here, if you want to talk to me about that young woman, then please address her by the name her mother, her real birth mother, calls her by. The name her mother gave her, which she had until she got adopted and changed her name, which is usually what a lot of scam artists do when they don't want to be, found out. Her name is Tori Outlaw. Her name is Tori Outlaw, and allegedly, and from what we can see, is on pharmaceutical. All of that crying, all of that screaming, and then it was the 2 weak people that actually went and tracked down the music video, the dangerous music videos that she sits online telling everybody, oh, don't do this and don't do that and don't do this and don't do that and whoopty whoopty woo and yada 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 and so on and so forth, right? She was in the video looking thirsty, dehydrated, all over some weirdo white guy who I don't know.
To be very clear, these are allegations, claims made by one individual. None of the people she has named have been charged or convicted in connection with what Ally describes. For instance, separate reports have noted that Denzel Washington reportedly left a party hosted by Diddy after feeling uncomfortable with what he observed, which is a very different situation from the claims Ally has made. What makes her story stand out, however, is the level of detail she provides. She isn't just dropping names for attention, she describes specific events, locations, behaviors, and experience.
Children under your feet, there are children in your face. You walk past a survivor and you interacted with a trafficker today. Do you understand the world and the war that we are in, that everybody keeps going back and, oh no, it's not true, and oops, wait a minute, did Jay-Z, is Jay-Z on the news? Is he Rock Nation? Are you kidding me? I liked him. Same thing you said about Diddy. Same thing you'll say about the Beehive. It's the same thing you'll say about Ellen DeGeneres. It's the same thing you'll say about Oprah. What will probably throw you is when you find out that it's the same thing you're going to say about your teachers in your schools. The same thing you're going to say about your police authority that you thought you could call. The same thing you will say about who sits behind 911, who sits behind the trash, who sits behind Child Protective Services. Do you understand where those kids are coming from? Do you? How many children do you know are being butchered? How many children did you miss? Because a lot of y'all are late. I'm not mad at you for that. I'm late too. Okay? Because for a minute, I was like, I'm tired. I know that nothing's gonna happen. And then we sit here today, December 10th of 2024, and mainstream media might be talking about the 13-year-old girl, but they're not talking about all the under 13-year-old girls. They call them underage prostitutes. There's no such thing as an underage prostitute. These attorneys that are sitting everywhere, shame on you. Because this is why we won't trust one. I don't trust y'all. There's a lot of people who are like, why aren't you on these cases? Do you not see what I see? Let me help you. Let me help you. These attorneys are paid off. In a minute, somebody will flip somebody's evidence. In a minute, it's not going to matter what happened in the court, because the court, you see what Diddy's doing? He will eventually, how? let me ask you this. Who has family that's been to jail? Who has family that has committed a crime? Who has family that's just been pulled over for nothing? Okay? Who has family that has been to court over a parking ticket? Who knows that when you end up in jail, ain't a damn thing confidential, but it is for elite.
Z became a more widely discussed name after separate civil lawsuits referenced him in connection with allegations from roughly the same period that Ally had already been speaking about. He has denied all accusations. What sets Ally apart is that she publicly tried to connect the pieces herself, without the guidance of lawyers, PR teams, or the protection that fame or wealth can provide. She simply shared her story, and the more you hear it in full, the harder it becomes to dismiss. It's important to see the bigger picture. Ally Carter's story doesn't exist in isolation. The private island she mentions, the one that has been widely covered in the media, where influential figures reportedly traveled on private jets, and which remains shielded from public scrutiny, for decades has become a central focus in recent discussions. Flight logs, guest lists, court documents, and thousands of pages of evidence have gradually emerged through court proceedings and congressional inquiries. According to these records, there appears to be a broader system at play, not just one individual or one location, but a complex network of powerful people, some allegedly participating, some looking the other way, and some reportedly involved, forming a wider ecosystem.
The reality is 30,000 or more foster children come up missing every single year. And of those 30,000, 60% of them are sucked into human trafficking. And the victims aren't listened to. And it's heartbreaking. And I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry and to those other children that people are not listening. It's my heart to know that. And I'm sorry. Now, it was going to happen. This was not the turn it was supposed to take. But because people are having such a hard time understanding that your story is valid, and it's not only your story, you're being a voice for so many others that are walking the same path right now. And I thank you for that. But the original story was supposed to be where you are now and where you're going in your future and where God has taken you. The great things that God is doing in your life right now. So why don't we go into that now?
Y presents this as more than isolated events. She describes it as a system with recruiters, transportation routes, money changing hands, and layers of protection at every level, including, she claims, within government agencies that were supposed to prevent such activities. She has said she was moved through tunnels beneath Los Angeles, including beneath the Getty Center, one of the city's most well-known art institutions. According to her, these underground routes connected locations that most people would never suspect. Not every detail she shares can be independently verified at this time. Some may never be fully proven, but one point is clear: as more documents have been released, her descriptions of the broader network seem less improbable. The existence of a coordinated system of influence is now documented, and that is no longer in question. What makes this especially concerning is that it is not just about one or two individuals. It raises questions about how entire industries, Hollywood, the music business, and the media could
Those are assault parties, and I was one of the kids that was one of the party favors. And a party favors means that you're set on top of a table and you're used as a toy for anybody who comes across the table or who wants to party at a certain time of night when the music stops and then the DJ starts flashing all these lights and they close the doors, and then everybody turns into like a frenzy and starts going into a crazed animal-like demonic state, and you have no idea what's going on. And yes, there was a time where I was just like completely don't give a shit what happened, and I was the type of kid that thought that, you know, you're in the presence of royalty and they make it seem like you're in the presence of Hollywood, so you should be honored and you should be appreciating that you're there. And I was that person. I totally acted like that. I was like, oh, it's fine, you know, it really doesn't matter. But then it really did matter when my pimp was like, he had rules. He had lots of rules, and it was more money. And if you know the difference between a pimp, a John, and a trafficker, the trafficker is the supplier, but the pimp is collecting the money and the John is doing the buying. So if the pimp is saying that Full House, actual full blown is it, By the way, kids, don't watch this. Goodbye. I love you. Goodbye. If you found my stuff, get off right now. This is the moment where I'm telling you I'm angry. I forgot to put that reminder in the beginning. Okay, cool. Goodbye. What was I saying? Full House. Thank you. If the pimp paid for, if there's rules to Full House, rules to anal, and there's rules to all kind of different jobs. Okay, so at a certain point, I was not brought or traded for, but that didn't matter to a few celebrities that were there. It's not just celebrities, there's a lot of different people. They called it an all-black party, but it was mainly because a lot of the party favors were black kids. I was in the care of Riverside County Child Protective Services at the time. I was 15, barely 16. 15, 16. It's foggy. A lot happened that night, and I went really numb. And if there's videos or if there's anything that could go from that, then pull them. Because we all know that there's so many cameras around. So I can try to post the affidavits and I can put out what happened, but at the same time, what am I supposed to do when nobody's really asking about the kids that are present in these parties now and were then, because they're really just going after all the celebrities and the adults, which I'm happy that we're finally here, and I'm grateful that we're finally pulling the names that need to be pulled and the big fishes that need.
These gatherings reportedly included hundreds of guests, industry insiders, executives, artists, journalists, people who, according to Ally, were aware of the environment they were entering, yet for decades there was virtually no public acknowledgement. Why the silence? Part of it, she suggests, is fear when those at the highest levels of influence are involved. Speaking out can put careers, reputations, safety, and sometimes even lives at risk. Ally Carter has said that she lost nearly everything after going public, and she is an ordinary person without industry connections. That gives a sense of the stakes for some.
100 women have come forward and given testimony under oath about being assaulted.
Yeah.
And not one man is facing charges.
Yeah.
Not one man is in jail.
Yeah.
It's only one woman who is serving time around it. And I want to juxtapose that, Britt, around Diddy. So you have a RICO case.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
For one man. But Epstein has a whole conglomerate empire. But one man takes the fall for that, but a whole system is just saying, oh, well, this is just bad press.
Part of the reason these systems persist, Ally suggests, is money. Financial incentives keep things hidden, settlements are made quietly, agreements are signed, and evidence can disappear. Some people, she claims, simply benefited from turning a blind eye. Hollywood has faced reckoning before. Harvey Weinstein is one example, but even then, it took decades and the courage of hundreds of survivors to hold one indiv.